River, an ARMELLO story. The podestà and the bonesetter. A racoon, wearing a steel armor and a morion helmet, was guarding the entrance of the podestà house, underlined by the wolf clan's banner, fluttering at the sides. River revealed her muzzle to the city guard and spoke in a low voice. "I'm Sky, Rangers of the Vale. I need to speak to the podestà." The guard was immediately overawed by the tall wolf and her aloof attitude. Then, when she told him her rank, he stiffened up and stuttered a bit.
"Oh, wait here, ma'am. I'll inform the podestà."
She just nodded, and the racoon ran inside the palace. River gave a glance at her back, as she regretted using her sister's name to cover her own identity. That, and the previous feeling of being chased, made her feel more cautious in this risky situation.
"Ranger Sky, the podestà will receive you."
The wolf glanced at the racoon with an apparently calm look, following him to the small study of the house. It was a room with an impressive collection of books and a window beyond a massive dark desk. The podestà, a red wolf with big ears and glasses with brass frame, was waiting the ranger standing next to the big window. Near the desk, with concealed surprise, River recognized the fennec fox she saw at the tavern. The podestà dismissed the guard with a movement of his hand, and then spoke to the fennec. "You may go." The big-eared fox obeyed with a little bow, and when it went to the door, gave a quick glance at River, leaving the room and shutting the door.
"Ranger Sky, welcome to Southbank. I'm Glubgut. Please, have a seat."
"Thank you, podestà Glubgut. Unfortunately, I don't have much time."
"If you have little time, I deduce that the Den Mother will give the permission to those king guards to inspect the town, yes?"
River nodded as an answer, and podestà eyebrow frowned slightly. After that, the ranger took out the brooch from the leather bag and showed it to the red wolf, who immediately opened his eyes widely, recognizing the star over the mountain and giving a quick glance to the grey-brown wolf in front of him. "I'm here on the behalf of the Den Mother for the allegation against her son Thane. I need to verify it by checking what happened and seeing the body if it's possible." For a few instants, the red wolf stayed still and silent. Then sighed and slowly sat on his chair. He put his paws under his muzzle and spoke in even lower voice.
"Ranger Sky, when the King's Guard's captain came here and informed me of what was happening, I immediately ordered the city guards to patrol the entire town and secure the entrance of Southbank to find the prince eventually. But 2 days have passed and still there's no sign of him. For what I know, the body is a decapitated female bear, and on her garment it was found the king's emblem."
The ranger nodded at the red wolf, and Glubgut continued his monologue while taking a piece of paper and his quill, writing a quick note, and after folding it, he handed it out to River as she took it quickly, hiding in her leather bag.
"It was sent to Basin Leminwinsk. You will find his shop on the east side of South Bank. One of my guard will accompany you.
Root! Immediately the raccoon in steel armor opened the door. His round dark eyes seemed terrified while he stuttered again.
Yes?
Escort the ranger to Leminwisk's shop.
Okay, follow me, miss.
Thank you, Podestà Glabgut.
At your service, Ranger Sky. Strong pack.
Strong pack. The ranger followed the guard and closed the door behind her. She was not surprised to see, not far away from her, the shadow of the fennec fox walking away. On the sign of the shop, there was written Basil Leminwisk. It was at a corner of the street, near the town square, a quiet place where, at the moment, nobody was passing by. Above the shop, there was the balcony of the house, full of various types of plants. River recognized even a bush of mountain's arnica.
This is the place, Ranger Sky.
The wolf turned to the raccoon. He was still stuttering a bit, but looked much more confident than their first meeting. Thank you, Godroot. You may go.
If I may, I'd like to wait you here, in case you need assistance.
The raccoon hung on tight to his halberd, trying to put a serious face. Very well. When the wolf got into the shop, finally the raccoon gave a sigh of relief, then stiffened up again while checking on the corner of the street. Inside the shop, River's sense of smell was immediately invested by a mix of smells. Scent of lavender, probably mint, but also the pungent trace of old blood and meat. All sorts of medical herbs were hanging dried down the wooden ceiling, tied in a long twine around the walls. There were a lot of jars in a big closet, full with medicaments of various types, from dried plants to many unguents. In front of River stood a big wood table, clean but at the same time stained with dark and old rings. Behind the table another locker was closed, but under that, in a big bucket, there was a brush and an old dirty bandages and a saw. The windows were partially covered by the tent, and the room was filled up with darkness. River's eyes shone in her tappeto lucidum while she was observing the shop. She heard footsteps and turned to the right. On the furthest corner of the shop, a wooden stairs led to the upper floor, and in that moment a gerbil in a blue tunic and a monocle showed up. He saw the wolf, and annoyed reached for the bucket and started to clean the dirty tools.
Sorry, but the shop is closed.
Basil Leminwisk, I presume. The gerbil stopped scurrying around his side of the counter and stroked his paws, turning his head around, and gave a proper look to the grey-brown wolf, moving his eyes up and down to study the gear worn by River.
I see you're a stranger. Indeed, it's me, Basil Leminwisk, spice seller, bonesetter, and sometime considered a doctor. What do you want? What do you need? What's the illness?
He spelled the word illness with irony while moving towards his counter near the open closet, starting to stroke his paw. I'm Ranger Sky. I'm here for the body which has been found not long ago. As soon as she said the word body, the gerbil stopped for a moment to clean his tools and looked at her with clear suspect in his eyes. Then he quickly finished to clean and started to scurry around the room to tidy up the shop.
Body? What body? I don't know nothing about a body.
The podestà told me you have it.
Maybe he mistook me with the hamster of Milo Butterscotch. Quite rude to confuse a gerbil with a hamster.
He specifically gave me your name.
Well, I don't have neither the body nor the time to talk with you. I'm busy and the shop is closed.
He gave me this. River, calm and unmoved by all of that, took the paper from her leather bag and handed out to the gerbil, who stopped his nagging and looked at the wolf as if was searching for something in her gear, like a crest. I'm not part of the king's guard. Basil looked again at the wolf, uncertain, then slowly approached the ranger and her piece of paper, then snatched it from the wolf's paw and frantically opened it and read it. After spending a few seconds in silence, the gerbil gave a sigh of relief and spoke to River, gesturing towards the stair.
This way.